Okay, so this is an interesting one, but it relates to what we just talked about inclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
The overall vote on this one was not the asshole. I'm telling you that for a purpose.
Well, I'm going to still give you my thought.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not inviting my son to my wedding? I, 34 male, used to be in a relationship with Sarah, 35 female. We met in middle school, dated on and off in high school, and even talked about marriage in college. This all came to an end when I caught her cheating with my roommate and we broke up. It was really hard, but it got worse when I found out that she was pregnant. Immediately, I sought her out and to confront the possibility of her baby being mine, and Sarah avoided me while sending her friends and her new boyfriend, Adam, the guy she cheated with, after me to stop harassing her. I reached out to her mom, explicitly stating that I only wished to know if there was a chance that I was the father, and after enough persistence, Sarah contacted me directly, called me pathetic, that I wasn't the father, and if I continued, she would call the police. Being a broke 19-year-old, I took her at her word and washed my hands of the situation and transferred to another college and moved on with my life. Eventually, I met my fiancée Miranda, 29 female, and we've been very happy together. Before the pandemic, we were supposed to get married, but understandably that got pushed back. Now that restrictions are loosening up, we're moving forward with the plans, but have drastically cut down on the number of invites to abide by the venue's safety policy. After completing the list and sending out invitations, I was recently contacted by Kevin, 15 male, claiming to be my son. Obviously, I didn't take him at his word and asked who his mom was, and he said Sarah. I told him that before he was born, his mom assured me that I wasn't the father, and I asked him why he thought I was. Kevin explained that it came out that Sarah's husband, Adam, wasn't his bio dad, divorced her, and hasn't spoken to Kevin in years. I agreed to take a paternity test and was shocked that I was his dad. I was pissed because I asked Sarah if there was any chance, and she denied it. Miranda was surprised, but also supportive, and I've been speaking to Kevin regularly while also making plans to see him. He saw on social media that Miranda and I were planning on getting married in the spring, and he wanted to come. Unfortunately, everyone that we've already invited have all RSVP'd and made special accommodations to attend our child-free wedding. There's no way Kevin can come without Miranda and I disinviting someone else, which we feel is rude. I told Kevin that while I can't invite him to the wedding, I promised to put together another event so he can meet more people in my family. He seemed understanding, but his maternal grandmother called me up to berate me for not making him a priority now that I'm aware of his existence. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Everyone voted not the asshole on this one.
This is your son.
Yeah.
And you're going for a long-term play of a relationship that's going to be the rest of your life with this young man.
It's the long game.
Asshole.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you can't get rid of anybody else or get anyone else to yield. Hey, your son's coming. End of story.
Yeah.
He's number one on the list.
Well, especially, he's 15. Like this is
impression to him.
This is a very impressionable age where it is after having, someone who he doesn't mention when the stepdad
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Let's imagine that, she said, yeah, this is your son. And you grew and you were there for the last 15 years. He's going to be your number one guy. He's going to be your best man.
Probably.
Listen, dude, rethink this one quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even imagine the trauma that this kid has gone through. Like he grew up, probably most of his life or at least, half of his life.
This is your chance on being a dad. This is a father decision.
Well, and so I think, he's kind of like in this position where he's like, Kevin seemed fine with it. So he goes on to say, edit because I keep seeing this. The venue has a policy on the number of people who can attend due to safety. This isn't about fire codes, but COVID, not the fact the wedding is child-free. Edit number 2. Thank you to those suggesting that we explain the situation to our guests to see if anyone would be kind enough to allow Kevin to come instead. I will talk to Miranda about this, but also reach out to Kevin directly since So far, only his grandmother is giving me flack for not inviting him.
I'm going to give you flack.
Your 15-year-old son, who doesn't really know you yet, is not going to tell you how hurt he is by not being able to come.
Dude.
This boy is reaching out in hopes of a relationship. He had a father who now essentially disowned him. Abandoned him, has cut him off. That is so traumatic. And he is in such an important time in his life where he needs, someone to rely on. He's reaching out, clearly.
This is a no-brainer.
I was shocked by this vote. Shocked that everyone voted not the asshole.
Well, goes to show you that everybody agrees on everything. I'm
really glad.
I'm glad you gave me this one.
I know. So the top comment on this one, not the asshole. You told him the circumstances and he said he understood. He's a 15-year-old little boy. He's putting on a hard front. You are obviously looking for a way out, you can have everyone agree with you. The bottom line is there is no way out on this one. The only way out is for you to do the right thing. And this is your son. End of story. Yeah.
This is a young man who's got a soul, a heart, and a spirit. And if you do anything to assassinate, then you don't deserve him as your son.
No. And the person goes on to say, the grandmother is not involved. I would seriously consider suing this kid's mom if you have proof she lied to you. Holy cow. Not gonna lie, sounds like a good idea in theory, but would probably end up in OP having to give child support, and they would add in all the time OP didn't know. And someone goes, they absolutely cannot add in support from a time when he didn't know. The only backdating that happens would be if she didn't know his location, knew he was the dad, and filed for support, blah, 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 blah. Trying to find another not the asshole comment because they obviously had a lot considering.
It doesn't matter. We're done with this one. He's got to do the right thing. End of story.
He does. Hopefully, that's the case.
We need to write OP and go beat him up. I mean, we got to go shake this guy.
Yeah. A lot of interesting comments too saying, she married that other guy and it was he was under the impression that he was the father. And so he's the legal father regardless of biology.
This is his chance to be a father. You want to be a dad and you want to be
Maybe he doesn't want to be a dad though. Maybe this is his way of kind of like getting the reassurance.
Are we going back into the story of that we don't know everything? It doesn't matter. This kid and him have had the decision was made. He's been talking with this young man. He has been forming a life with him. He's been opening this line of communication. He took the paternity test. He is his dad. Be a father. Step up to the plate and be the father. This kid is your best man.
I mean, you don't want to put that pressure on a 15-year-old kid that you just met.
You're not putting pressure. It's an honor.
Yes, but for a child that's just meeting you and
he's a 15-year-old young man.
Don't put that on him. That's a lot of pressure.
You can ask him.
They haven't even met in person yet.
Wait a minute. I thought they did.
They have not met in person yet. He's reaching out via social media.
He hasn't met his son yet?
No. So OP comments a lot. He's very responsive to people. So if you want to see all the comments, be sure to check the YouTube for the story link. But no, they have not met yet.
Do they live in the same town?
I'm trying to scope out more information because he doesn't really give a lot in his original post. So someone goes, not the asshole, but wow, this is a hard situation. And you really need to tread lightly if you want any relationship with this child in the future. Kevin is feeling lost. It's not his fault that Sarah is a huge asshole and Adam is an even bigger asshole. Kevin wants a father in his life, blah, 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 blah. This is a once-in-a-lifetime situation. Don't blow it. And so he responds back. This person or someone at some point says, meet him now. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm trying to set something up with him one-on-one much sooner than that. Like much sooner than the wedding, I assume.
Absolutely. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The best thing in my life, sir, is my kids. How I got them, it doesn't matter. They're a blessing. All three of them.
Yeah.
And the dogs.
You're the asshole. You can absolutely add another chair to a spring wedding. You just don't want to have him there. You just don't want to be a father yet. Don't lie and say it's because it's child-free and you can't add him. By the way, you have 18 years of possible... No, that's not true, so we're not even going to read that. And OP goes, not when the venue's strict policy number and doing a head count to enforce it.
Child.
Also, I don't know how you got me not wanting to be a dad because the wedding is child-free. This comment goes, I'm adopted and met my biological family. It can be intense, emotional, very awkward, and sweet. It's not something I would recommend doing at a wedding. If you do invite him, plan an event just for him to meet the family before the wedding. But meeting family for the first time needs its own event, just my opinion. Thank you. And I
understand that one.
I would somewhat agree with that. I think that's what I mean. What I was trying to get to with the fact that he probably shouldn't be the best man, even if he does come.
I didn't know that he when you were reading.
You thought they might have met.
I've already thought they've met. They've talked. They've seen one another.
Yeah.
I had no clue that they haven't said, but
they haven't met.
He needs to do that immediately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he should have done that instead of
been writing to
Reddit,
writing these posts.
Yeah, it's definitely something he needs to get on ASAP. But yeah, he definitely needs to be invited. I think it's very, very important that his son is there, or at least given the opportunity to be there. If he determines that he's not emotionally ready or it's too much pressure, then that's his opt-out. But at least he wasn't excluded. Because I'm sure there's a distant cousin or a distant friend that would be happy to step down if, one of the comments said, you explain the situation.
I think he needs to go immediately meet his son.
Yeah.
Do not pass go.
Very
Do
important.
not collect $200.